Some of the earliest listener feedback that we received was when I told people that they needed to stop contributing to their 401k if they had not reached a minimal amount of savings or if they were getting slammed by credit card debt. And it's a little deflating if it's the first user feedback, like, hey man, I got this brand new shiny podcast. And someone's like, what are you talking about? And through experience, I can say that some of the things that are hardest for people to come to grips with are when you are in a situation with your housing where you need to take a step back or take a step down. When you have a child that is in a private school that financially you really can't afford to send them to that school. Yeah. When there's something that you're like the things that we feel symbolize a level of success. And when we're forced to give up those things, the emotion that's attached to it, especially in your case when it's like you saw that as kind of like the house on the hill based on, sounds like the way you grew up. Yeah. Like this house meant more than just me buying a house. This says something about who I feel I am as a person.
Absolutely.
And I'm giving that up.
Absolutely.
So you give it up, you pay off a tremendous amount of debt. At what point does Tia get sick?
About a year later, about a year living with her dad, she gets sick while we're living with her dad. But we don't have any idea as to severity though. Mm-hmm. Which is these things happen, and these things were happening, and we didn't understand. She kept getting diagnosed with pneumonia, and we're just kind of going along with it. And she had a instance to where her heart rate dropped extremely low, and we had to get her to emergency. And then that was when we found out about the heart condition. And at that point, we hadn't been back into our house for a year yet. We go from moving out of our house to paying off the debt, having a kid, because while we're living with her dad, we end up having a kid. So we go back home with our newborn, and within a few months, Tia is back in the ER for the second time in like less than a year. And her heart rate dropped to levels that I think if it's any lesser of a person, we would have been out of there.
Right.
She made it through that. And so from there, lifestyle changed drastically, figuring out what was to happen next, waiting to see if as time passed and she was further postpartum, if her heart was going to heal itself, because there was this idea that pregnancy definitely puts more stress on the body, makes the heart work harder. And, as time passes, maybe the heart gets better. And she got better physically, and I think mentally she got better, but the heart never got better.
Right.
And things just got really, really tough. She would go on to have a heart transplant, and that was the best 11 months of our lives. Right. For all of us, for her physically, for me, for our daughter. That 11 months was great. Within that 11 months, we started a pandemic. People were complaining about being quarantined at home. I was like, man, this kind of cool, being with my daughter and being with my wife. But she passed May 2020.
You referenced your daughter. You gotta know his daughter, and if you know her, you're listening to that sentence and you're smiling because she is like an explosion of personality.
She is, man. And, our lives were full of action from the time that, really from the time that we got married and we moved into that house or whatever. There was just like always something happening, always something going on, lots of highs. And it just made so much sense that we would be blessed with a daughter that was the way that she was, the way that she is. Everybody loves their kid, but there was just something special about Ever's personality that I think gave us this something extra to get through all of the things. And I know for a fact that, that little girl brought something else out of her mom that helped her make it time after time after time.
Right.